out in Perry with a Perrier going. I would say it, but I got a paraphrase. And even when you tripping, we tripping, I paid for you. Gourmet for you, chauffeur arrange for you. I take the flight along earlier in the day for you. It's the beach and air, prepare, and let you know I'm waiting for you. Finally, baby. Like the mother niggas, and I ain't got to play no games with you. You know what your problem is. You don't ever see the big picture. Boy, I want you to take me serious. Oh, baby, I want you to take me serious. Wait for you. I'll be wait for you. You got a young boss nigga like me waiting for you. You got that bomb ass pussy, I'll be waiting for you. Yeah. Who you love? Tell me who you fucking love. Tell me who you wanna fucking love. I left that sexy dress out on the bed with a note there, laying for you. With directions where I'm waiting with dinner and waiting for you. I'm the nigga. Tell me I'm the nigga. I'm the nigga. That's your nigga. Even when you got a nigga that you make love with, but right before take drugs with. Get right after hit the tub. Wait on me with sons. Then you back the ass up on me like it's 9-9. Wine fine like a bottle from the 9-9. Hit you with the 99 like it's fucking prime time. Kill the pussy, had to hit that shit like 9 times. Girl, even when I'm gone, just know I'm there for ya. I'm all ears, in other words, here for ya. I probably rob a fucking bank and go to jail for ya. As long as I can smack that ass and pull that head for ya. Finally famous. I ain't like the mother niggas. I ain't got to play no games. You know what your problem is.
Good morning. Good morning.
You don't ever see the big picture. I want you to take me serious. Oh, baby, I want you to take me serious. Waiting all night, that's all night though. Girl, don't keep me waiting no more. Yeah. It's true. Got some things I wanna do to you, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. You guys know what today is. It's Takeover Thursday, and your girl Rocky is here. Duty plugged me in. We about to turn up. So on Thursdays, you know Rocky Relates gets with y'all. Rocky Relates is sponsored by Crystal Clear Marketing and Cope Aesthetic Design. And I want to let you guys know I appreciate you tuning in, however you're tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Up Live, Me, Tune In, Norvix, My Tuner Radio, MixLR, Streamfinder, all that good stuff. I definitely appreciate it. The love and support that I get throughout the week, that we get throughout the week, and then when I'm here on Thursday, the interaction and all that good stuff. So, Duty, what's going on? Good morning.
Man, what's the word with you, Rock?
I'm good. I'm here.
Whew, man,
I'm here.
I hear you. I mean, it's definitely been one of the days already, man. Traffic's a definite issue out here in the streets, man. But we made it. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas.
It is.
Talk to the people, man. Tell me how you feeling, man. What's the word? What's the word on today?
Okay, so I go throughout my week and things happen, and then I either come in here, I'm venting to you, or I talk to you throughout the week. In this week, I don't know if it's a question or just my concern is, why is it being direct normalized? Why is that? When I say being direct, as in conversations or with relationships or dealing with just people in general.
Okay.
I feel like we sugarcoat a lot of things, or we bite our tongue. We don't say certain things because of other people's feelings, therefore putting our feelings to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not understanding where, if it ever was a point in time where being direct was okay, because when you're direct, you're aggressive, or you have an anger problem, you got an attitude, or when you get labeled, you get put in a certain category when you just tell people what it is and how you feel.
Well, do you feel that it's dependent? Like, some people are allowed to be direct and some people are not. And
what do you mean some people are allowed to be direct?
Well, in our culture, first and foremost, any woman that's direct is considered aggressive.
Or bully.
Right? So, women that speak their mind, women that defend themselves, you know what I'm saying? They're looked at in a different way. They're not always considered to be courageous. As a black man, when I speak up, when I'm being direct, people get very offended. They're not offended by the truth that I'm saying. They're offended by the mouth that is coming out of them. They're offended by the tone that I possibly took that they might not agree with, but they don't ever go back to the content of what I said.
Right.
So I understand what you mean. But then there's also people that's allowed to be direct. You know what I'm saying? Or whether they're people in certain positions, you know what I'm saying? Whether our bosses at work or our spouses who can, you know what I'm saying? Or no, we're in relationships with a lot of different people, friends, things like that nature. And like you said, when you got friends that beat around the bush with you, you kind of put them in a cabinet over here as far as, you know what I'm saying, you know how to deal with them.
Right.
And you got those friends that are direct, and we all love those friends that are direct, but they're not always allowed around because their directness isn't always
acceptable.
Prudent.
Right.
There's no tact behind it. You know what I'm saying? Some of these folks just spew whatever come out their mouth, and just because they hit the target 1 out of 10 times, it's acceptable.
Okay. Well, I didn't look at it like that.
So the offense of being direct isn't necessarily anything that has to do with how it's delivered. It really should have to do with the content, but it's never about the content. It's about who's
The
delivering
delivery, right? I think, to be honest, delivery is important. Delivery is very important. In the position that I'm in, I deal with a lot of different people, and I learned early on that you can say whatever you want to. It's just how you say it. And there's some people that I'm not going to talk to a certain way. Like some of my team members, I'm going to, put my foot in their ass, and they're going to take it, and they're not going to think anything of it. They're not going to be hurt. They knew that it's not personal. It's just,
that's how it goes.
It's just, I have to talk to you like that for you to hear me. Now, if I ask you sweetly, you're not listening to me.
Yeah.
But then there's other people that I could say the same thing to, and they'll be in the corner somewhere in the fetal position crying.
Well,
so when do you turn that off? Like that's what I'm saying. Why is it? Because I feel like it's altering stuff.
Well, you can't treat everybody the same, right? But what I mean by that is saying that a good leader is going to deal with everybody individually, because everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a different approach. Our interpersonal relationships counts on that, on us being able to deal with people in different ways based off of how they're going to react to their background, things of that nature. But what I hate is people that are wrong, and when they're confronted about accountability, all of a sudden now you're hurting their feelings. What I don't like is people that are direct with some people who can talk to me and tell me straight up what the hell is going on, but then when they're dealing with other people, it's always a giggle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so passive, they don't even have eye contact with the person.
But why is that though? Like and then there's those questions where I'm like, why?
It's comfortability, and then it's a choice, right? If I sat here and told you, Rocky, that I'm refusing to open up to you because I'm shy, if I'm willing to say that, then I'm willing to understand what that means.
Right.
That means I'm choosing not to share with you. And my excuse is that I'm not always open.
Right.
So how am I supposed to take that? Do I take that as, do I need to try to open you up, or I take that as you telling me you're unopenable? Right? Now, when I start being direct with a person like that, now they start going into a shell. Because their excuse is, I don't have to talk about it, I'm shy. I don't have to have that.
But see, okay, so there's my point. That's my thing. They don't have to talk about it, they're shy. But I have to tone myself down because you're shy.
No, because
how does that work?
We know that doesn't always work, because we'll tone it down for somebody and be less direct, and then they won't get what we're saying.
Right.
So that's the same damn issue.
So it doesn't work. Like my point to y'all, for those who are listening, is stop sugarcoating yourself for the next person. Just like Duty said, okay, sometimes they're not going to get it. They're shy, so you draw back and you try to go a little, smoother into the situation, and then now they don't understand you. So whose fault is it really? It's not yours. It's not.
But how do you correct it though? Because that's the frustration, is knowing that you're not wrong and trying to get a point across, and then having to sugarcoat it or lighten it up or water it down or whatever. Then the person got an excuse, right? Then they don't actually correct the issue, and now we got to go back, and now they're like, "Oh, why are you beating down on me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not beating down on you. I couldn't be direct with your ass the first time because your ass so sensitive, and I couldn't really tell you what the real deal is because you went into it the right way." Right. But or I could have told you what it is, let your feelings get hurt, right? And then put myself in a position to where at least it's a solution. You might feel some type of way, but at least something getting done about it.
This is true. I take the second one. I take the second route. I'm not gonna sit here and I have done that before, and I'm at this point in life where I'm just frustrated because now it's to me honestly when I look at it and analyze the whole thing, it's a lose-lose situation. So somebody got to lose. Your feelings gonna be hurt, or I'm gonna be uncomfortable and irritated because I didn't say what I had to say, and I choose me. I choose me. So you gonna feel some type of way at the end of the day, but I'll be okay because I said what I wanted to say. I'm not sitting here with this weight on me like, well, damn, they still didn't get it. Well, damn, they're still doing me the same way. Well, damn, nothing's changing.
That's why being direct is important, because when you are direct, you have accountability toward directness, right? If I told you straight up how I feel, you can't say I didn't tell you.
Right.
If you say, hey, I didn't really understand what you said, which a lot of people won't do. If you say, hey, you know what, I don't really get it, like a lot of people won't do. That's another thing. You need some better explanations. But if I tell you very directly, hey, what you're doing is hurting me, and you can't respond to that, that's the opportunity for me to make an adjustment. That's why people don't deal with directness, because we really fail at making the adjustments because of how we feel, because of our relationship with the person, or how we want our relationship to be with the person, right? So when we're dealing with it as a leader, you know, we got our troops and we line them up and tell them what we need to tell them to get them to move how we need to move. When we're dealing with our interpersonal relationships, being direct can put those relationships in jeopardy because people don't like to adjust or apologize or do the right thing all the time.
Okay, and so note to that. That's not your problem. If they don't want to adjust for you, if that relationship means so much to somebody, the relationship that you have, it's a joint effort. And when you're talking about those interpersonal relationships, those people are supposed to accept you for who you are. And you're supposed to.
All right.
But no, not all the time, no. But you're supposed to. That's part of having a friendship, a relationship, an intimate one. You know what I mean? Any type of relationship.
Yeah.
To me personally, like if you say that you rocking with me and we have this bond, then you're gonna accept me right, wrong, or indifferent. Like there's no in between. Like it's not. I could be wrong. You're gonna tell me I'm wrong and probably, but you still gonna ride out with me. That's how I look at it. That's just how it's supposed to go.
We got a caller. Let me see here. Caller, you're on the air. Who we speaking to this morning?
I was gonna call when she said something like that. What's going on?
Good morning, Nita.
This is Big Nick to the Boss, man. I tell you to come in and talk to Miss Rocky here, right? What's good with y'all, man? How you living this morning?
Salute to you, champion, man. Bless. Rocky, how you? Go ahead and run with your boy Nita.
I'm here. What we got going on, Nita? What you got to say?
That's good. Hey, man, I wanted to let you know we already there. Because, I'm listening to it. Rocky, you're looking good this morning. Thank God for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
That Red Bull, but you're looking great.
It's not a Red Bull. It's a Starbucks energy shot.
It's what?
It's a Starbucks, and I'm gonna hold it to the camera so you can see it.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Y'all
a
had art juice. That's crazy.
Well, thank you for being direct.
I'll tell you like this. I'll say what I got to say real fast with you. I think it's very important that we as individuals don't walk on eggshells. You know what I'm saying? And we stay proud of who we are as people and individuals in this world. I think that God wanted us all to be one way. He made us all one way. However, since we are individuals, we have to all remember that. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we get into any type of relationship, whether it be a friendship, a businessship, or a relationship within an emotional ship, you have to learn how to compromise, because it's not about like me for who I am and that's it. Keep the ball rolling. That's actually a selfish and very egotistical way of looking at it. Only because if you get stuck in that, I always have always have a comment, and I say, and I tell everybody, if you switch, they'll just let themselves find themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be messing around talking about it's me all the time, because if you think about me, you really need to think about what it takes to operate me, and I need you to operate. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, we need to be able to be cognizant of that situation and know that there's another person involved here. And in order for me to get by in daily life, for me to feel right within myself, I got to make sure that they're right, so be right. because other than that, you won't be living in constant confrontation because isn't nobody gonna just like you for being you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
That's just it.
I hear you. Now, this is coming. Now that this is Rocky relating. This is coming from someone that was always, or a person that's always worried about other people. And so when I say those things, is yes, it goes both ways. But how do you, like Duty said, people don't want to change. So, you know, me, I'm not really a tick for tack person. I don't list the things that I've done or how I've given or this, that, and other. But at some point, you just have to step back and look and say, okay, well, maybe this is my fault because I don't want to say demand the things that I needed, but I assume because this is another part of me, like you said, that you would understand the things that I needed. So now that I'm being direct and I'm not, hey, tiptoeing and walking on eggshells or trying to understand that you know everybody's an individual in this situation.
Absolutely, there comes a breaking point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you got to have the clear line of understanding. You ever heard the old saying, "Never," you know, saying I created a monster.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's exactly what we do. We end up creating small monsters by not checking the situation at the door. You know what I mean? It might be cool. You might have to even adapt to it at first. And be like, is this person disrespecting me, or is this what I think it is? Did it come off like that? Because sometimes it is. You know, I know you spoke about delivery earlier before. You know, sometimes you know a person doesn't know how to tact to get their point across without making it seem some type of way. You know what I mean? So, but you definitely can't let it fester. You know what I mean? If you see something that's going to turn into a sword, you got to check that situation right away. You know what I mean? Other than that, you got to own that situation when it comes up. When the situation explodes, you got to own that. That reason why it happened is because you didn't check that in the beginning.
Right. So is it wrong to backtrack? Now you're tired. Now
Backtracking though, you just have to take it out of that breaking point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like setting a limitation. That if you have a bar, like just to say like a regular metal bar, you can bend a metal bar. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you bend it too fast, it will break. You
right.
know what I mean? So don't be the metal bar that broke. Just say, hey, listen, I'm working with you, but after a certain while, you can't no longer support that. You know what I mean? So you have to do what you have to move on before you mess around and break. You know, and that's perfectly okay to do that, as long as you exhaust all possibilities within yourself to make sure that you did everything you can do to make it right. You know what I mean?
Okay, Nito, look at Nito coming through with the juice.
I'm just trying to be like the water to the stars, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and suck it all up, you know what I'm saying? Once you pick it up, but I'm putting it down, you know, everything will be okay. You know,
thank you, Nito. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I'm going to tune back in, go and talk to your followers and everything, because, you know, this Rocky Relates is holding it down on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Blue, I ain't said that in a minute.
All right, thank you, Nito. Have a good day, babe.
All right, you too, bro. See you later.
Nito makes a great point.
He does.
And the adjustments, you know, that's the hard part for all of us. Mm-hmm. It's feeling like you have to make the adjustments when others are not. Mm-hmm. Feeling like you have to be the one to call out these things and other people necessarily are not being receptive, not because it's not true, but because they don't want to.
Right.
But we do have to be open to being flexible and do the same thing without breaking. Like for you, like when it comes to how people communicate with you, what is your preference? Is your preference for, I know we always say that we want people to be direct with us, but it don't always work like that. So, you know, in different situations, like when you're dealing with your friends and your family and your spouse, like what is your preference? Do you want people to consider how they're saying things to you and be considerate of your feelings, or do you want them to just drop it on you like it's hot?
I'd rather them drop it on me like it's hot. Really, honestly, it's not. I don't want you to sugarcoat it. If you love me, be honest with me. That's one thing that I do require. Be honest with me. Be truthful. Tell me what's up. I may not want to hear it, but it's okay. You can bounce back from words. You know.
Can we though? A lot of people, man. I'll be honest.
They can't.
I come across this a lot recently. You know, just in the last maybe year, a lot of people get offended by words. A lot of people get offended by conversations that's not even directed at them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They need to mind their business.
No, but that's the thing about it. Like, it's really important to realize how much of a weapon our tongue is.
And it's for me to say that, and I was just having a conversation this morning with my girl. Like for me to say, okay, where you can bounce back from words. That's me. That's me personally. You know, that's not everybody. But I also understand that your words are a weapon, because I've said things out of anger before, and you know that saying, you squeeze the toothpaste out, you can't put it back in. I've been in plenty of those situations in my life, because I let things boil over, and that's my point in saying be direct. Like, if you have to take a second in that moment to analyze what has to come out of your mouth, to say, like, what am I dealing with? Okay, how do I say this that works the best for us, so they can understand how I feel, and also, you know, receive this message I'm trying to deliver to them. Because sometimes you can say things and people aren't always going to say, well, damn, that hurt me. And I guess I just expect for people to be like that. Communication would be so much better if I said something to you right now, Duty, and you like, damn, Kay, you had to say it like that. Well, how did I say it? Tell me how. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. But what I meant was, now we can continue to move forward with this conversation so you can understand what I'm trying to say, and I can still get my point across. I apologize. That was a little rough. I get that. I shouldn't have said that. I have to, you know, think back. But I don't see why people sugarcoat their words. Like, if you may have to think about how you put them out there.
Well, I think in that situation, that, and you're right, true friends, they work through that.
Yes.
Right? Because it's an instance. I think the big issue comes with when we create a atmosphere of sugarcoating our friendships with our friends, and then we get to a point where we got to be direct with them. Right? I'll give an example. Personally, have a person that I considered a friend, somebody that I had been a friend to, that wasn't really being a friend to.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that I didn't realize that. It was just that it was self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
It just came to a point where the self-sacrifice became more than I could handle. And what I did, I preemptively let this person know, like, yo, you can't do this. I know what you're capable of. Maybe you don't consider it, but I'm considering it now, and I need you to be aware that I cannot allow you to behave this way. Very direct.
Mm-hmm.
What do? They do exactly what I told them not to do. Exactly what I asked them not to.
Well, then you were direct, and you know where you stand, where it stands.
No, because after that, now it's, every other time you forgive me, every other time it's no big deal.
Well, it's not every other time.
In this situation, we fixed it, and that situation was bad, but we fixed it. And I'm like, well, I warned you. I allowed you the freedom to fuck up, and you fucked up, and now I got to make sure that the consequences and accountability is there. But this person in our relationship wasn't used to accountability. So now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I held a friend accountable that I hadn't been holding accountable. So really, they're not a friend. They're just somebody that don't want to deal with the adjustments.
Right.
They're somebody that don't want to actually deal with the truth of the situation. And that's what I realized has been probably my issue in friendships, is allowing others not to be accountable and taking all the accountability on myself.
And I hear that, because I do that as well.
Right? And then being direct and feeling to them like I'm lashing out.
You say yes all the time. The one time you say no, it's, oh my God. Yeah, exactly. And then you, like you said, you didn't hold them accountable. So at that point, now you're feeling like disrespected, but you never laid that on the table like, hey, I feel some type of way when this happens and this happens and this happens. But I think it just goes from thinking people will move the same way you do.
No, it's from assuming that people have an understanding of even what they do.
Nobody understands shit.
People out here will dog you out and say, you let me.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's other people that will dog you out and act like they don't even know that they did you wrong.
Like, what? That's what, and you see, that's the type of people that you don't want to deal with, because I'm petty. So now I need to make you so you didn't know that was wrong. So you telling me, okay, let me try it. Let me try it. Let me do it to you and see how you feel. Now is it wrong?
Nope. No, man, no. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we live in a very contradictory generation where people who would not allow certain things to happen to themselves do the same things.
Do the same things to people, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's what's hurtful to me. What's hurtful to me is not just knowing better and not doing better, but when you purposely target me because you know that I got a good heart, or you take advantage of me knowing that I'm a forgiving person, right? When you are taking my suggestions as innuendos, knowing that I'm being direct, but you're not considering being direct because you know that even if you mess up, I'm gonna forgive you. I'm gonna find a way to make it right. right? Those are the type of things that make being direct very hard. Those are the type of things that you have arguments with your people about. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things you have real live disagreements about. When you sit there and you can tell a person straight up, like, yo, you're messing up, yo.
But you shouldn't have arguments, and it shouldn't be disagreements, and it shouldn't be that. And that's why I'm saying it's normalized to not be direct. Like, you can't. If you'd rather somebody bullshit you than tell you the truth. You'd rather somebody sit here and, well, I mean, if you want to, no, that's wrong, that's stupid. If you wear that, you look dumb.
No, but that's what we do, right? We sit up and we overlook the flaws, and we overlook the issues, and we overlook the traumas, and we sugarcoat our whole relationship. I was reading something the other day that was talking about a lot of us have relationships that are just based off of trauma. Trauma shoots. You know what I'm saying? Where we have related trauma with these people, and so that's our connection.
Yeah.
And so there's never any accountability because we're all just wallowing in our own shit.
Yeah.
So being a good friend to me, I have to be direct because I realize that I don't have a lot of people that are direct with me, and the people that are direct with me, I cherish. Right now, in a parent-child situation, that could be sensitive. Right? In a spousal relationship, that could be sensitive. In a friendship, in a real friendship, that should not be sensitive, right? I should be able to go to my friend and say, hey, you know what? This is what happened. You fucked up. I need to understand what's going on. And they should be able to say, well, you know what? This ain't none of your business. Or, you know what? As a friend, I need you to stay out of this. Or, hey, this is what happened. This is why I did it. Either I apologize or I don't. Here's a better understanding of, so you got a better understanding.
Right.
Right? Because that's what we think. We think that just because we're being direct about how we feel that we're right. That ain't always true.
That's not. But
right?
If you're direct and you put it on the table, put everything on the table, then you can dissect it and discuss it.
Incorrect.
Exactly. Okay, so you just said being direct with family or spouse can be sensitive. Why?
Because people don't always like to take correction from the people that's supposed to.
But you gonna take correction from somebody on the outside?
No, but that's what I'm saying. People don't like to correct, period. I'm just being honest, right? So if I sit here and I'm making the adjustments to make sure that my relationship is the best it can be.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the other person is doing that.
Okay, well, another person need to get on.
Well, that's not always how it works, man. The ties that bind.
So
what I'm saying is being direct calls for us to actually call out people, but it doesn't mean that they're going to change. Being direct means that we talk about the elephant in the room, and that don't mean the elephant is leaving.
Right.
Right? That's the thing about it.
You talk about the elephant in the room, everybody knows it's there. Now we're not ignoring this damn elephant. We all looking at it.
Yeah, but who's gonna clean up the elephant shit? The residuals of that elephant in the room, right? Because that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, what happens, like I say, this is not just based off of my experience, it's what I witnessed. We get into situations where there is an issue. Nobody knows how to fix the issue. We can talk about the issue, we can put the issue out there, but it's still there. Because nobody's willing to make the hard decisions or push the hard line or go beyond just saying what the issue is.
Right.
I try to be a solution finder, not just in my regular life, not just in my personal life, just period.
Right.
I like to find solutions, but that don't mean I'm seeking out problems to find solutions to. And I can get caught up in that too, right? There's different type of superheroes. There's superheroes that patrol and there's superheroes that wait for a call. I'd rather be one that wait for the call.
Wait for the call, right?
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be a specialist. You know what I'm saying? Put up the bats in me for my ass. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be web slinging through the streets all day, every day, looking for trouble so I can try to fix it. No, that's not what my life should be about. But that's what a lot of the times we end up with. We end up dealing with situations where we can't fix ourselves. We're depending on others to help us. We can't fix the other people around us because they don't want to make the adjustments. And the frustration doesn't come from us not communicating about it. It comes from us lacking the type of communication that can solve issues.
That's very true.
Right.
I'm finding that a lot in my life recently. And, it's kind of, I felt with the situations that's been happening to me, I felt disrespected. Because I felt as if I offered enough, you know who I am. This is who I am. This is, what I require. We've been through multiple situations. So you should know my reaction or
should know what to expect.
Somewhat to expect and somewhat how I would feel. And a lot of the times with people that I deal with, they share enough with me. They'll come to me for damn near everything. Share things with little shit, big shit, whatever. But when it comes time to sit and like be honest about certain things, they find it easier to lie to me than, talk to me about it. Things that would make me possibly feel some type of way, or they think will make me feel some type of way, or having a conversation with me that they're not ready to have, and I find that selfish. Like, if I'm gonna give you that and be direct about what I expect, how we can make this better, that I expect people to do the same thing. But I'm starting to think, like, is it me? Like, do I intimidate people where they can't come be honest with me? You can tell me everything. You can share secrets with me. You can open up to me. You could ask for my advice on the daily basis. But when it comes to being honest and truthful about something that may affect my situation or may alter our relationship, you would rather not be direct about it.
That's the thing, right? So we sit up and we depend on our friends, we depend on our leaders for the things that we want, and not always for the things that we need. So when it comes down to it, yeah, they're gonna pound your door down about things that matter to them. But when it comes to things that matter to their own accountability or to yourself, they don't want directness. No, I straight up, I've seen it in a lot of relationships. There's people that always got something to say about something, but when it's time for their ass to stand up and say, I messed up, they're quiet as the church.
Right.
When it's time for them to come and say, hey, you know what, I apologize, I messed up, or hey, you know what, I had this going on and I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you in the mix, or being able to explain the situation, they don't want to explain. And that's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
But how often does it happen? How often do the people that we go out of our way to make sure get the help that they need when they come to us for it, don't come to us for the right type of help, don't come to us when they really need the help, or don't come to us when they know that we know that they have been slipping on one of their responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's hard, when we are being held accountable to look out for other people and they're not holding themselves accountable to be there and be accountable to us.
Now, when you say being held accountable, who's holding us accountable? Like, that's another question I'm asking myself.
We have to hold ourselves accountable
to other people,
to our ties that bind.
Okay.
Right? Straight up. Like, we talk about those friends that we got that we ain't got to talk to for a long time,
mm-hmm.
right? That's the true epitome. People got shit going on in life,
right?
But being able to be there for somebody, not just when you need them, that's a part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to tell somebody very directly, like, yo, every time you come to Vegas, that's the only time I hear from you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you want me to stop everything I'm doing? You want me to come out there and turn up like you turn up and you ain't checked on me no other day out the year.
Right.
Now, that person might get offended.
But it's the truth.
No, but here's the cool thing about it. If they would have considered that, maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe they don't care about you outside of when they come to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you being direct with them and telling them that, now all of a sudden you're being offensive. When the reality is, it's the truth. They only think about you when they come to Vegas because you're only good for a good time. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, at least be direct with me and say, like, hey, you know what? I love you, champ, but you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I don't call you all the time, but when I come to Vegas, I'm gonna make sure.
And see that little things like that, like when you said that, I thought about, I have an auntie that lives in LA, and I went to LA about 3 or 4 times, and I didn't see her. So the last time I was there, I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest, I had to come this time because I know that if I came one more time and didn't come to you, and kick my ass. And it was smooth from there. Like, I didn't have to hear anything else about you all came out here and you didn't call me, you didn't come see me, you didn't bring the baby back. Like, I didn't hear any of that because I went into it, hey, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Explanations help, yo.
It makes it
It don't always fix stuff.
It
right?
doesn't.
But at least you can get a better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, it's not always about the what, it's about the why. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, like, perception runs everything. So if you can alter somebody's perception by giving them some other insight, that helps.
Yeah, now they're not feeling some type of way. It took a little weight off of those feelings.
Yeah, and it actually helps with the direction of being direct because now they have context behind why it was delivered that way, how it was delivered that way, and all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is 8:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're here at Rocky Relays on 22.3 Technical Business Radio, and I promise you guys, it's very important that we have direct communication, not just with the people that we love, but just period. That way, people don't have to misconstrue, and people don't have to get confused. But there are so many nuances.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many levels to it. And I'm thankful to be here talking with my friend about it because it allows us to have a different understanding because we've been through that.
Yes.
We've been through that not just in our relationship, but in our mutual friendships with other people and seeing, not just how they communicate, but why they communicate the way they do and why they take stuff personal and why they don't, if they even gonna tell you. Like, you'd be surprised how many people mad at you and won't even tell you they're mad.
Yeah, they'll walk around. Are you feeling some type of way? No,
everything is cool.
Everything's good.
Mad as hell. They want to beat your ass.
Yeah,
you know
but they won't tell you that. But why? I always, but why? I'm not understanding why.
Lord have mercy. It gets like that. But in the end, we have to find ways and strategize to make sure that we can have clear and concise communication because that helps us move forward. Right. And it helps us create solutions, man. We'll steer us into some music and take a little break.
Yes, we'll be back.
We will definitely be back with y'all folks, man. This is Rocky Relates on 22.3 Taylor Vegas Radio. If you have any comments, you want to talk to us, man, you want to say anything about our conversation, hit us up, 702-412-5870. We'll be back.
Messed up, vanilla Tracy, season Bugatti, I just live right, around the dope shade, I bought a sip of pure shade with the ill nana, I had to know my teeth in your jaw, you and your boy, my teeth in your paw, so what you deal is, but Foxy Brown and cake, now we take body and fly down, we'll get you make a break and all your paper. You're the only one for me, you're the only one I need, you're the body make me feel. Make me feel, and then you know love is real. Touch me, squeeze me, you got the best. She's no time, don't let go. Baby, I'm about to explode. Oh, my love, you can't control. I'll spend the night with you. You will do all the things that make me feel. And you know just what I need. But tonight you get like ice cream. I wanna make you fall in love. Just the stars above. Even though it be my own, I'll come back and give it again. And again, and again, when you get that wet, urban sex, wetter than the Aquarius, flashing, nigga that tatted. Slow and laying checks and coops, my boy stacking. You ain't know that I be lacking, the extra set of keys, the 30 G's, their trips, the babies, that you living on your knees. Not to mention the next out crib in Dallas, the 41 Palace, to the Palace. Mrs. Fox, man. I'm just saying, I was talking to
light
girls,
on
It's right there on the chair, Fab.
we don't put enough emphasis on the ladies sometimes. I was talking to this girl, she was talking about the music, all fast in the club. She got to drink water because she's thirsty. She done danced like 9,200 songs back to back. Ain't nobody, really try to find out what she feeling, like how she feel. You know what she told me? She told me, check out this what she said. Oh, she said she wants some more, some looking better drums, a little bit neither, but definitely set this party alright. She said she wasn't ready for the world, some baby repertoire, but definitely set this party alright. Yes, you definitely to drive over in your new whip. Bring some friends you cool with. I'ma bring the cool with. Then I want you to strip. See you is my new chick, so we get our grind on. She be grabbing, calling me Biggie like Shine on. Man, I swear she fine home. Why she always lying on? Telling me the diamonds when she know they lying. She got a light skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. Got a dark skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. I play ready for the world. She was ready for some action. My dog said you ain't no freak, so you got to prove my man wrong. I'ma play this fan drum, so you gon' take your pants off. I'ma play this glass night, me and you gon' see it right. Oh, yeah, some little bad drums, a little bit neither, but then we set this party alright. She said she wasn't ready for the world, so you would be so maybe repeat. Definitely set this party alright. Yes, smoking by the sun, smoking by the sun. Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, a lot. Now I gotta go order that from this book, right? Since you're sharing, I feel special now. I feel special. I always hear about the books that are being shared. And thank you. I feel like that was personally for me. I'm gonna order it today.
I told you so, baby. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But now, I need you to do it faster, baby. Can you please do it faster, baby? Do it faster. Damn, baby, I can't do that fast. You can't.
Look at you looking at the bliss on my hands, a bliss on a nigga like a smoking on my cannabis. When it come to rocking the rhythm like Marvin and Luke, I can take you when I'm messing with Kai, man. The twist on the shot and I'll be sipping in the sea. So I'm a beat, I'm a smoker beat, and no. Come on, me and sip on some level of champagne. You and those who stick around like the whisper. Hit the stoplight, you put to some eyes. These rims, you moving, so I'm a little spinners while I'm smoking on the beat. Through the streets, popping up a beat, and I got the heat, rolling 23. And I do it. With my earth and the wind, smoke a fire. Let me get your sheets wet, listen to keep sweat. Put you in a days and lace, fulfilling out with every temptation. Slow down and having deep sex. You ready for the world, girl? Come on, over me and touch you all over your body, baby. Don't say no to me. And let me know to me, telling me I'm not gonna wait to be on the people. I'm sitting and telling me. And when I come over and bend your ass, you be bumping to the pentagram. I'll hit it from the back to the melody you roll stuff. Now I gotta go up in it fast, but I'ma finish last. No matter how much of a thug you see, I still spinning like a star for me. Until you put up for me. And listen to come on, I hope you feel me instead of being love for me. Shine on. Some little bad drums, a little bit neither, but then we set this party alright. She said she wasn't ready for the world, so you make the beat. So maybe we can set this party alright. me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year. Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year.
Now, please be the man, wanna see you doing good. I don't wanna get rich, leave you in the hood. Girl, in my eyes, you the baddest. The reason why I love you, you don't like me till I'm status. I don't wanna see you with a carriage, living average. I wanna do my thing so we be established. And I don't want you rocking no fabric. Girl, I wanna give you carriage till you feel you a rabbit. Anything in your path, once you can have. Walk through the mall, if you like it, you can grab. Total it all up, and put it on my tab. And then tell your friends all the fun you had.
Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year. What you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year.
Hey mama, won't you come here to Popeye? You don't like the way the Tata's looking at shot-eye. In the 600, ain't no smoking, so yada. Come over here, I think I see you, baby, rada. Here go the number to my casa. If you in a rush, you call me mañana. Whatever you need, girlfriend, I got the whole enchilada. Just the way you like it, next gonna be Popeye. Girl, I can tell you was meant for me. I can tell by the way you were sent to me. I'm on tour trying to make you centuries. And they ask who you made, you better mention me. Don't you got a problem. If you want no big girlfriend, don't start it. And it just so happened that I'm seeing cats that you messed up a lot just trying to be fast. And I ain't gonna ask who smashed the E-class. Pull up to the rib with the whole front crash. Now you wanna laugh, the thing that's the past. If you ever lie again, girl, that'll be your last.
Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year. Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year.
Yeah, the more you treat me royal, I adore you. That's why I don't mind doing these things for you.
We got some requests.
You wouldn't believe you did. That's why I always wanna keep you here. In the year two, girl, I can see you with my kids. Girl, you make a thug wanna get a legal bid. It's only right to spend our lonely night getting crazy biz till we awake the kids. Don't get too loud, got respect for your honey. To keep it all real, you come check into my money. And can you be my ghetto love privacy? Everybody love you, girl, not just me. And I know that you really care a lot for me. Wanna see you happy even if it's not with me.
Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have for a year. Tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if it's right here. Something you can have.
Hey, what's up? We're back. It's your girl Rocky here on Takeover Thursdays. Rocky Relates is sponsored by Crystal Clear Marketing and Cope Aesthetic Design. Me and Duty just been chopping it up. Nito called in, gave his perspective, which I appreciate. It's amazing to have these conversations and have different views and communicate things that maybe you didn't see. It's so easy for us to get caught up in looking at things our way when there's other views and perspective of, things, everyday life. You may think you've been doing it the right way all these years, and somebody comes in and gives you a little bit of something, and now, okay, that might work. So we were talking about being direct. I think a big part of being direct is delivery. That's important. You were saying yesterday, you came from a household of yelling, so tone and those type of things don't really affect you looking at what's being said.
No, I have to analyze it different because I know that the yelling don't mean that it's anger involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In the end, a lot of times we get caught up, like I say, in the and we don't realize even sound has a feeling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It resonates. So it's not always that people don't receive what you say. It's a lot of times they don't receive it because of how you said it. And then when you catch that, we don't always have to make the adjustment. They'll figure it out. we'll say they need to grow up or they need to man up or whatever the deal is.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
And when you tell people they need to grow up, I've said that before. I've said those things because my words, I'm gonna be completely honest, they can be very brutal. And my mom will tell you, it's plenty of conversations that we had that could have been had differently, but because I felt I had to defend myself, my words came out a little different. They came out a little rougher, and there may have been anger attached to that yelling that was going on, or the communication. Because when you feel you have to defend yourself, the communication stops. So you're gonna shut down, you're gonna lash back out, and you're not really going anywhere with that. So delivery is important. How you say things is important. Like I said earlier, you can say whatever you want to. It's just all about how you say it to somebody. You could say it so sweetly. The same thing that how you're feeling inside may not always be the right way to project what you're trying to say or share these feelings because they won't be received. And that's the whole point of communicating, is receiving messages. That's why you talk to people and you try to get these points across, but delivery is definitely important. That's something I've been working on for a long time.
I'll be honest, I'm working on my delivery, but kind of in the opposite way. For some reason, because I like to talk low, because I don't, I get excited, but I don't get overtly, excited, especially when I'm dealing with people. People tend to take shit that I say lightly. And
well, you do kind of say things smooth, like it's.
But I need, what I need, it's not the effect for me. It's really about absorbing the information.
Right.
And the people that I love, they do that well. I don't communicate the best. I won't say that I do, but I want to say that I'm pretty obvious.
Right.
And the people that take the time to recognize how people that they love communicate, those are the people that you want around. Right. Being able to recognize in your children, hey, this one's been a little quiet today. Let me go and check on them. Or this one's acting out a little bit. Let me see what's up. Those type of things, they matter. And, specifically when it comes to friendships, we have friends that we don't always consider because they don't always reach out. They don't always speak up when something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we have to make sure that we're breaching those walls that our friends put up by being direct. Hey, what's up with you?
Yeah.
Nothing, stop fronting. You know what the word is. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be times where maybe the communication they don't want to have.
Right.
They need to know that you care. They need to
that that it's there. That door is open, and they can come to you. Yeah, that's a definite. And I have a few friends like that be going through the roughest times, and I'll text, "Hey, girl, what's up?" "Nothing, girl, been good." Come on now.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to talk about it. It's not. I'm not gonna pass judgment. Like, you can tell how the conversation is gonna go. You can tell if you need to be that. That give them that tough love, or be a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more caring, and just listen this time instead of being like, "Girl, I told you, don't do that." You can tell, or you should be able to tell.
I would hope so.
With the people that you care about, you should be able to analyze, what type of conversation you have, and sometimes being direct doesn't always necessarily mean at that very moment that you want to.
Hey, and here's the thing too, like even friendships, it's important that we have indirect understanding as well. Meaning that nothing wrong to pray for your friend.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong to, send a message knowing that there's something wrong, but knowing that they might not want to talk about it. And just letting them know that you're available. And just like you said, it is important that we seek out these understandings, but it's also important that we give people room to figure things out too.
Yes.
And being direct enough to say, you know what, I know this ain't none of my business, but if you need to talk about it, if you want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Or if it is something that can affect you or is affecting me, hey, you know what? I know you might not want to talk about this, but we have to talk about this. So measuring that is all a part of friendship, and knowing our friends and being willing to open ourselves up to know our friends in that way.
Yes.
Man.
Yes, definitely. Your friends should be, I don't want to say the first people to know, but besides your household or your other half of your relationship, friendships, they're a little bit different. Like you said before, they shouldn't pass judgment. It should be open. It should be a different type of communication because, it's the obligation to that person is different.
Yeah.
The obligation and the requirements of that is different. Like I tell my friends all the time, it's in our contract. It's in the fine print. If you didn't read that, this is the part that you have to do in this friendship, and it should just be understood, like as a joke. But in reality, that's what it is. That's what it is. You should be able to freely, especially with friends, freely just talk about things, and they should be able to correct you when you're wrong, and it should to be a joke. Like I joke a lot with my friends, so I guess that makes them being direct a little bit easier. I tell my mom I did this, well, you was wrong. I don't know why you that was okay, but it's easier to take in. Like, okay, yeah, you right.
Oh man, I would be very remiss if I didn't mention the fact that I got really, really, really good friends. And when I say that, it's not something that I always measure, but it's something that I'm very appreciative of, not just in the moment where they're there for me, but also knowing, man, like I say, that you never know what moves are being made on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to have people in my life that can call me out, but also people in my life that can recognize issues and be willing to put themselves and make themselves available to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's days where I'm here on the show and people that know me well call me up after the show like, yo, you good? Something, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm good. Well, nah, something's up, dude. You know what I'm saying? What's the word?
You can see, yeah.
And I appreciate people that know me that way. I appreciate somebody that took the time out of themselves to be able to recognize me that way, because I try to do that for others.
Mm-hmm.
And it is imperative that we have these open lines of communication, direct communication, because it does allow us to grow. Like I say all the time, we're not perfect, but it's hard to seek perfection when a lot of the people that's around are trying to cut you down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find the people that are trying to build you up, they're not always available to you. They're not always there to build you up how you feel you want to be built up.
Mm-hmm.
But when they have that effect on you, man, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, to know. It's especially with everything that's going on now in the world, society, and how things are set up. It's hard to find real. It's hard to find real, and a lot of people. And when I think about that, the trauma that you were talking about, sometimes it keeps people, like it pushes people away from being real. Like now, like I'm at this point in my life where I feel as if I can't give that to everybody. I think you go through phases in life where you have to go through certain things to understand this is what it really is. And I'm at that point in my life where I understand that I can't give this version to everybody, this version of Kate.
Man.
And it hurts because you want to. I don't want to have to edit myself or filter myself I want to be able to be myself at all times, but I also understand that not everybody is deserving of that.
Yeah. No, that's the whole thing. Like for me, I can't edit myself down. I have to cut off my circle.
Yeah.
Right? Even when it comes to the workplace and things of that nature, like one of the benefits of entrepreneurship for my personal self is the draining part that comes with doing other people's business.
Right.
And not believing necessarily in the person or the direction or what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to live a life of conviction, to be a person that it really matters to me to believe in what I'm doing, to sell myself, to sell my time in something I don't believe in is probably one of the most demeaning and degrading things I could possibly do.
Yeah.
And I can't explain that to people.
Not everyone's going to understand that. Not everyone's.
I don't expect them to, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are money motivated in a way that they don't care what they do to get it. They're just going to get it. Me, on the other hand, I know that it's not necessary for me to sacrifice myself in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like I say, it comes a time as people in relationships that we have to be direct about the things that are going on around us and start checking ourselves and the people that we love to make the adjustments. For instance, with all the things that are going on right now, there's a lot of shaming. There's a lot of people out there that are in their own situation, looking at other people's situation and judgment. When in reality, we check ourselves first.
Yeah.
If everything's good with us, then we check on who we can help. And if it's a person that we don't feel deserve our help, they don't deserve our attention either. Right? Why are we pointing out things that we want to be direct about things that have nothing to do with us?
Yeah, it's none of our business.
Right? And so that type of direct is unhealthy. I feel like we need to be more direct in making sure that we're reaching out to people. And we're reaching out on our own behalf and reaching out for their behalf. Hey, you know what, kids? I love y'all, but daddy's been having a hard time right now. I need y'all help.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, friend? You know, I know I've been a little quiet recently, and you know what I'm saying. There's been a lot of stuff going on that you don't know about, but I just need you to know that you know I ain't forgot about you.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to keep it real. You know, I have this problem a lot, telling people I feel okay when I know damn well I don't.
I think everybody has that problem, though, but what is okay? Like, you know,
No, but that's the key. Is right. We get caught up in our survival mode,
Mhm.
and everything is okay.
It's true.
Right?
But
I could be feeling horrible physically. I could be feeling horrible mentally. I could be, you know what I'm saying, having a bad day, and everything's okay. That level of denial doesn't allow me to be direct. Because if I'm actually direct about my feelings and how everything is not okay, maybe I can start feeling it.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe there's somebody out there that can help you. I can help you with that. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that's what was going on. You should have said something. You know what I mean? You should have said something to me. I could have helped with that. I didn't know that.
I'm just saying, and then even colder than that, to another level deeper. So you got people that are in a bad situation, that are dealing with things. It's obvious, and they just don't want to do it. Don't want to talk to you about it. You see the adjustments that they're making. You're like, hold on a second. You're not moving right, but you can't even say nothing to them. You can't be direct with them about what they got going on, because in real reality, it's not going to change their trajectory.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to do whatever they got to do, whatever escapism that they're used to, whatever coping mechanism that they're used to. They're just going to run to that, and they're going to totally dismiss you as somebody as a resource of help, because that's not how they used to do it.
Right.
Right. They run to their source of comfort, or they run directly to what is going to make it feel better for them in the moment, instead of considering others. And that's another unhealthy direction that people take. And it's important that we deal with situations the way they need to be dealt with, but it's also important that we hold each other accountable to that. If as a friend, I that's the situation at home, a lot of people will say is, hey, let them go through it. Not me. I'm pulling up.
But see, okay, then that comes with when you said that, I had thought in my head about another friend. That comes to, okay, you got to let them go through it, but what if you don't know how to help them? What if there is no way? Like, you may, okay, I'm gonna pull up, but what does pulling up really do for you? Does that, again, you were saying, not seeking out the problems. You want to solve problems. You want to be the one that they call. So did you take that as a call, or was that seeking? Because that might have caused you another problem that you wasn't ready
for. Right? That's why, like you said, we have to measure how much of ourselves we give. So I can play superhero for all the people that I work with. I play superhero for all the people that I live with. I play superhero for all my friends, but I have to prioritize.
Right.
And sometimes that call for help ain't coming. That's why relationships are important. That's why MO is important. That's why I pay attention so closely, because those small things matter.
They do.
And so what I have in my life that take my attention from my priorities. That's being direct too, right? Yeah. I have to be direct. In this moment right now, what's more important is my mental health, my physical health, the mental health of my family and my friends and those type of things. So those are things I'm paying attention to. Those are things I'd rather be direct about. Right. Instead of being direct about what you're doing with your money, I'd rather be more direct about are you getting rest? You know what I'm saying? How you been feeling?
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't consider the small things. But I'm thankful to have relationships where those small things matter.
Yes.
Because let me ask you, right? When last time somebody called up on you and asked you, did you eat?
You know, the only person I can think of is Janice. She makes sure I eat every day. Shout out to my baby Janice.
No, but I mean, so how important is sustenance to us, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time somebody actually said, you know what, Kelly, you're tired, I know you need to rest away. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go in and take a break, right? Then, the type of person that you are, here's the kicker. The person you are, that's what you do for others.
Yeah.
But you got to have somebody that can do that for you.
That's true.
And that means sometimes you have to be yourself. Sometimes we got to be so self, like, hey, I'm being such a help to all these people. I need to be a help to myself. Right? I have to prioritize myself too.
Yeah.
And
it's okay to say that.
It's hard though.
It is. It's very, 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 very hard. This is something I've been struggling with. It's because I feel I get joy from helping others and being there and being that rock. I get joy from that. To know that I'm that person that you can call and that will be there. And then, like I said, I'm going through something at this time. I feel as if not everybody deserves that, because when I need that, which I rarely do because I didn't get it in the past, and I've been that foundation for not only myself, my daughter, but other people. When I need it, I just figure it out on my own instead of asking for it because I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
So how do I stop that disappointment? Well, now you got to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And you got to go down this roster of who's there. And I'm, hey, baby, I'm sorry you didn't make the cut. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but damn, this is why, and this is why, and this is why. And you know what? It may be my fault because I found myself saying that. This is all my fault. Like Nito said, creating a monster. This is all my fault because people only do what you allow them to.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, and we gotta take that personal accountability too. You know,
Yeah.
and measure ourselves as a friend and measure our friends as who they are and who they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when we take that accounting, like I said, we start at home and ourselves, then we can recognize maybe where our mistakes are, those monsters we created, not just in others, but in ourselves.
Right. And then also realize your worth. Because the little things like I find that you're supposed to do for people. Not everybody's cut the same.
Yeah.
The things that I require of people, I find myself doing so easy because that's how I was raised. That's how I was bred to do.
Yeah.
My grandma always tells me having a big heart is a blessing and a curse. And I didn't get what she was saying until I'm crying over this being done to me or they not understanding in this. And it comes to a point where you're tired. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I love you, but I love me.
Somebody
And
got to.
Exactly. Like I'm drawing lines on this love that I give you and what I'm willing to deal with from you. And if you can't make the adjustments like you said, I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it may hurt.
Yeah.
You know, been through so much in my life that cutting people off, yeah, it hurts. Making those changes, it hurts, but you can get through those things. So I don't look at it as, you know, a bad thing. Because I've also seen that sometimes when you let go of those people that aren't reciprocating that energy that you need from them, whether you address it or not, doors open for you. Things move faster for you.
Yeah.
You see opportunities. You meet people that you wouldn't have met if you had, what's the word? It's anchor. If you didn't have these anchors in your life, you know, you holding you back. So being direct is okay. You don't feel bad for drawing lines and laying stuff down for people.
Yeah.
If they feel you're worth it, they'll make those adjustments.
No, and then don't be feeling some type of way of saying it how you gotta say it to get your point across. You know, sometimes feelings gotta be heard.
Yeah.
Sometimes the adjustment is in making sure that they understand that you have feelings. You know, a lot of us are walking around numb to not just emotion, but numb to other people and having empathy and understanding. And then we become numb to ourselves and not giving ourselves any understanding. Like I said, I'm my own worst critic and judge. So, you know, it's very important that we direct ourselves to understand ourselves too. Instead of looking at the speck in your brother's eye, check out the mold in yours and realize the places where you can correct how you're being direct and how you're the type of communication you're giving off. Because even the nonverbal communication can be very direct as well.
Oh yeah, that energy. You know, I'm big on that. That energy. Your energy is off. What's the problem?
What's wrong?
Like you were saying, somebody could feel some type of way about you and not even say nothing, but that doesn't mean their body language isn't saying.
No, it's gonna give a tell.
Avoiding somebody is also saying that you got something you want to say, but you ain't ready to say it.
Straight up.
And just be honest, people. Just be honest. Man. You know, if somebody loves you, the relationships are important to you, the honesty will be appreciated. Again, some people don't want honesty, but then that lets you know that honesty is everything. Being honest is everything. So, you know, just look into these relationships and analyze, and look into yourself as well and analyze how you can be better at communicating and being direct and your delivery and how to work with the relationships that you have around you, how to, you know, adjust, make those adjustments necessary and help those people make those adjustments. Now, if they don't want to, don't put all your energy into that because then you waste time, but help those people and guide people into making the adjustments necessary. Don't just, if you love the people around you, you love them and they're worth it, don't just focus on bettering yourself. You want to better your environment too, because that plays everything. You can't get too far if your circle isn't right. You know, adjust that. You know, your environment, what's going on in your home, how you talk to people. And, you know, you'll see the light shining a little bit brighter. But we're going to get into some music because, dude, we got some requests.
Oh, you got some requests, huh?
Yes.
We're going to make sure we take care of those requests like we always do around this time. We're going to get some music on. We're going to check out those requests, and we're going to make sure we get them played. We'll do the Outlaw. You hear with Rocky on Take Over Thursday, and Rocky Relates on 22.3
Take over Vegas Radio.
You know what it is. Give us a call if you got any requests. 702-412-5870. That's 702-412-5870.
So Nito said, passing me by. Passing me by.
Baby girl, you know my situation.
I don't know how to
Sometimes I need to get patient, but you don't put on the show. And go through litigations, and I respect your
And then
gangster.
OG
Treat
said,
you like a princess and put some on your neck to thank you. Squeeze my pincher.
I think,
When it's starting
that
out,
was
they
the
playing right. I come
But I think it was another one up
Might
there.
sound like I'm gassing you, but it takes time to get from the backseat to the passenger. We've been creeping and sleeping just to keep it from leaking. We so deep in our freaking and we don't sleep on a weekend, right? A little bit of fight. Wonder why I keep coming home in the middle of the night. It'll be alright if y'all bump heads, it'll be alright. What I said, it'll be alright.
I really wanna be with you. Wanna be real with you. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go. You're the one I want in my life. Already got away. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go.
You ain't gonna step out of line or get out of pocket, so I made sure canaries sit out your locket to protect you. I get out and cock it, and you know the barrel of my gun is big enough to spit out a rocket. Oh, you gon' play dumb if I still come through. I gotta keep the top of if my drop do come through. But I know the boutiques and shops you run to, so I cop her one and cop you one too. You always get a daily page, weekly rent. Plus you ain't too shy to do the freaky things. I ain't gotta put a pen on your finger. I wonder what you telling the whole world. I'm your man while I'm sprinkler. I thought you was something I denied, something I was fine, just to do something in the vibe. Shorty, it's something you provide. Cause the entree ain't as good without something on the side, you know.
Wanna be with you. Wanna be real with you. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go. You're the one I want in my life. Already got away. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go.
I might be leaving the earth soon. My girl will kill me if she smells still in your perfume. It's gonna be a good toss if I go back with stains in your lip gloss on my throwback. She won't care if I'm a platinum rapper. She catch me with an empty magnum wrapper. So keep it on the down, I'm calling the car, selling you see what happened with Mr. Big and all Kelly.
You know I can't forget that feeling. She can never ever get alone. Wanna be with you, wanna be real with you. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go. You're the one I want in my life. Already got away. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go. Wanna be with you, wanna be real with you. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go. You're the one I want in my life. Already got away. Can't leave you alone. I know I'm living alone, but I can't let you go.
Your Las Vegas connection for music, news, and fun. 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio.
I believe it's your time. All with Angie. 'Cause I believe in you. Looking back, reminiscing on. Caught a brother doing bad, then you put me on. Told me not to be ashamed of what I got. Never mind, I made niggas up and down the block, baby. Held it down and the bills got paid. Said, go ahead, baby, do a thing. When God blesses us, I wanna Lexus with a highway magic in the Hampton. Girl, you must have lost your way from heaven. Could it be for me? You ain't so far. Looking like you do, every woman. You're the very beat inside my heart. Girl, you're like a star, I feel so high. Shining like a diamond out in space. Girl, you're like my forget what you meant. Oh, yeah. And if you have it, I'm glad to give my life. Today I take this vow, make you my wife. Nothing temporary, no, it's quite necessary. You and me for eternity. For you want to love you, baby. You to you, ain't so hard. Nothing like the old you. You're the very beat inside my heart. Boy, you like the sun. I feel so calm. Shine like a diamond out in space. Something like my father, my brother. Irreplaceable. Take your place. Boy, you're mine. You're the air.
We got enough songs. You can hold that.
Sure, we don't see.
We got enough songs today.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, don't ever take that.
You call him every time you call him that. I'm like, who is that?
How are you, buddy?
I got mine. You so happy. Say, $5? I seen something on TikTok. I'm gonna go get me an air fryer, guys. He took a Subway sandwich and called me breadcrumbs on it. Put it in the damn air fryer, and that motherfucker. I said, now you know I'm greedy. I love to eat. I was like, what the? I gotta try this. He made pancakes in the air fryer. Took the little wax paper. Huh? You know what? TikTok is actually really good for people like to expose themselves and like the little talents. Like there'll be people on there doing stuff with the crickets and people doing like custom things that give you ideas. There's people on there that have like this story time, which gets a lot of views. They tell you only 60 seconds. So you start telling your story and like if you edit it right and break it up. Now they want to know part 2, what's going on, what happened, and I like those. It's stories, right? Family. Damn, it must be real. I ain't seen you did that in a minute. About the wings, the air fryers and shit. I'm gonna get an air fryer. I'm about to put everything in the damn air fryer. You gonna see me on TikTok making videos about what I put in the air fryer all damn day. That's all I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what? I might do that today. And we can exchange air fryer recipes. Today we got going on. We should have an air fryer competition when as soon as you get back from this thing that you're doing. We're not gonna talk about that though. I'm slowly but surely getting over it.
All I can do was stay up. Back in we used to kiss when we played truth or dare. Now she's more sophisticated, highly medicated, not at all overrated. I think I need a prayer to get at her book, and it looks rather dry. Just a twinkle in her eye is just a twinkle in her eye. Although she's crazy stepping, I try and stop the stride, cause I won't have no more of this capacity.
You gonna cook them live on the truck? We gonna talk about he gonna bring the air fryer and cook the chicken live on the show. We can do that.
She told me to you let the birdies on the fire. She was a flake like corn, and I was going out to understand my let the past. I proved to be a better man.
I feel like it's a lot of Asian people on this live. That's live. I'm saying, but Germany, China, wherever y'all are.
And it's dope again, the dope machine, the dope again, and now the world around me.
That was from my other half, y'all. Just so you know.
Wait, no, I didn't up in the pursue my little princess with the sisters. That I was so lucky that she was unaware, like, from a distance, I desire. Secretly admired, why, a letter, together. My name, you do not know me, but I know you very well. Now let me tell you about the feelings I've been for you when I try. I'll make some sort of attempt, I shrimp. Damn, I wish I wasn't such a wimp. Cause then I would let you know that I was on your man, then I would beat you. The only I am, I was in the air with you. But I learned to shoot the one who loves you, Jerry. Yes, no, we did this. The letter came back 2 days late.
They got different options. They got the cars. The cars are really dope. Yes, check it out. Put in my referral code. Huh? Are we finishing? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Rocky. We're gonna wrap it up right now, but I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you guys tuning in to Rocky Relates here on Takeover Thursday, which is sponsored by Crystal Clear Marketing. However you're tuning in, YouTube, Uplive, LiveMe, Facebook, any of the streaming apps, TuneIn app, Norbits, MixLR, StreamFinder, MyTuner, Radio, all of that good stuff. I just want to let you guys know directly that I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys listening in, but I also appreciate that you receive my message and the messages that we share on this show. And if you apply it, that's a beautiful thing. Be direct with the people that you love, and also evaluate how you are being direct. Evaluate the way you deliver your message. Evaluate your relationships and yourself, most importantly, because in order for all of these things to work, you have to be the starting point, and always remember that as well. There's people that don't deserve those parts of you and wouldn't appreciate this honesty, in the world that we live in today. Honesty, loyalty, all that, it's very hard to come by, and appreciating when you have it and nourish those things and nurture them and build them up. Get your support on. So I appreciate you guys being here with us. Dude, you got something you want to say to these people before we get up out of here?
Hey, I appreciate everybody that plugged in with us today on Takeover Thursday. Rock Relates on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Great job today, Rock. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Finally, Fridays. We'll be here 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on a station that has more fun, y'all. We out there, man.
Without you, baby.
Isn't that so cute?
So if you need me, if you want me, put it on.
Hey!
Because I love you.
Touch the air fryer to the ground.
Whenever you need me, if you want me to put it on you, come on.
Adios. Fix my eyelash so I get off the left.
What would I be without my baby? This was a long ride, break me, and I don't wanna go crazy. But every dog needs a lady. Gotta feel like you and I been born together, inseparable, mutual pain, no complexion. For that you will never be part of me. My body and soul, ain't no out here with it, baby. When you cry, we'll wipe your tears. Telling you nothing to fear, girl. I'll always be there when you need the shoulder to lean on. Never hesitate.
You can find all the Rocky Relations
vice versa. That's why I be the first. See
Make
Jacob,
you
frost your wrist up to your old man. I know you're tired of being alone now. So baby girl, put it on. Wanna be without you. I wanna think about you. I know you're tired of being lonely.
That you taught me, baby. And that house on the hill when you drop like 80. On that down payment, thinking damn, ain't like Brady. And never since from my money, I've been twice the lady. What I do without the nights that you want. When this whole world had a girl caught in the storm. And I accept when you whip, when you're caught in the wrong. And respect when you flip, cause I love is strong. And when you hit the block, I watch for 10 fall. And when my pops is sweet, snuff in the back door. Baby, we've been down since junior high. So when life get hot as your lie, it's the world against you and I. We born and tied together and never part from the heart. Knew that it would last forever. You told me you would never leave me lonely. So baby boy, put it on.
I wanna be without you. I wanna think about you.
But what you're saying is true.
I know you're tired of being lonely.
I need someone to hold
So baby girl, put it on. I wanna be without you.
Wanna be without
I wanna think about you.
But what you're saying is true.
I know
All